shady, ain't calling me baby. Never say my name.
Hey! How's it going?
Hiya.
Guess who's here? Rachel.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
About baking whatsoever, but this is where we're doing the classes. We're on a balcony, we're in Norwich. God knows what's going to happen. God knows what's going to go on. But do you know what? It really doesn't matter. Guess what we're making? Banana bread. The most Googled recipe going on right now on Google is this one. But we're going to make it epic. And I'm going and starting with this one. She's going to do
I
everything.
basically like to eat everything. I just have no idea how to bake.
Which
is
is the
good.
bowl.
Yeah,
I mean,
in
it's
a
all
kind of
about the
bowl
bowl
and that's
licking,
about
isn't it?
Just interested in eating. Eating and nothing
Anyway,
else.
guys, cheers. Happy, what are we on? Wednesday.
What day is it?
Happy Wednesday!
Happy Wednesday.
So we're going to show you how to make banana bread. Earlier that we actually put up a recipe, or not a recipe, we put up the ingredients for you guys to buy. So if you can get them in, great. If you can trial it, please tag us. Either tag me in Grick's Cake Design or tag Rachel in Grick's Yoga, whatever you want to do. We don't care. We just want to see you bakes. That's all we want to do. So we're starting with our recipe, and I'm leaving it down to Rachel a little bit.
Oh God.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Just FYI, I'm a complete beginner. I literally only bake. I make dinners, I make savoury stuff, but nothing.
I mean, she's quite
sweet.
good at making dinner.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to
pretty good
lie.
at cooking.
Salmon, epic. Absolutely epic.
Pretty decent.
Um,
This, no idea. No idea.
So any questions that you feel like probably need to be answered, she's going to be on it. She's going to be answering questions. And we've had about a bottle of Prosecco already right now, so God knows what this video is going to be like. Anyway, so we're just going to roll with it. We think it's Friday, but it's not Friday, it's Wednesday.
Isolation goals.
Isolation goals! So,
Cool.
here goes.
Stage one.
Stage one. Guess what you got to do? You got to find yourself a loaf tin. So we've got a loaf tin here. I actually bought one because I didn't have a loaf tin. So we need a £2 loaf tin. You've got £1 loaf tins and £2 loaf tins.
Yeah.
Obviously holding different weights.
Probably go for the £2 one. Just in case.
£2 is this guy here.
Cool.
Hand model. £2 loaf tin. So it's going to hold what we need in terms of this recipe. If you haven't got a £2 loaf tin, of which when it came to a week ago I didn't even have a £2 loaf tin, you can use a 8-inch cake tin, 8-inch round. That's round. That's what round means? Round. 8-inch round loaf cake tin, yeah?
Yeah.
It's got to be 3 inches high, right?
Yeah.
So none of these little short tiny pans, 3 inches high, yeah?
Okay.
Cool. So but we need to line it. If you don't line it, then what happens is, Alexa, volume down. What happens is everything sticks to the side. Anything that you've got butter, it sticks to the side of your pan. So what you need to do is you need to line it somehow. Don't really use butter. So if I was to use butter and flour and stick it in, tip it out, what it does is butter caramelizes and it burns. So it creates like a real crazy crust around the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to use vegetable oil.
Yeah.
We're going to line it with a bit of vegetable oil.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put a sheet of parchment paper in there so we can lift it out really easily when it comes out of the oven. That is the main thing that we're after, getting it out of the tin. Yeah?
Stage one, I knew that.
No, you didn't.
I knew that. I literally knew that.
You saw me the other day making it.
I knew that. Yeah.
Anyway, so on that note, we're going to start.
Yeah.
So in here, we've got a tiny bit of vegetable oil. So we're not going to use anything like, what are we not going to use? What are we not going to use, Rach? We're not going to use olive oil.
No, olive oil.
You can taste olive oil. So if
Yeah.
I stuck that in here,
No.
my cake would taste like olive oil.
Yeah.
Guess what another thing is? Coconut oil. If I use coconut oil, you can taste coconut oil.
Yeah. Coconut's good for you though.
I mean,
Just-
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
but FYI, but we're not going to use it for this.
Alright, look, yeah, okay.
Right, so, bit of scrap greaseproof paper. Yeah? Doesn't matter what it looks
I
like.
think they know what it looks like.
They're
We're
like,
aware.
bit of scrap greaseproof paper
Right,
off the end of what you cut off. Use it to white brown your tin. This is white brown your tin
Right.
with oil. Right.
Okay.
So, oil, dribble a little bit of oil into your tin, just a little tiny bit, and all you're going to do is you're going to rub it all the way around your tin using your scrap greaseproof paper that you've got left over. In the
Oh,
meantime,
we can do a scrap,
while Rach is lining her tin, we've got a rectangle sheet here. You can see this lovely rectangle of greaseproof paper. We're going to line it so it goes bottom and it basically hugs the inside of your tin, so you can pull it out really easily when it comes out of the bake, really, out of the oven, I guess. So line all the sides as well.
Top?
No, not the top, because cake mix don't go up top. Oh. So line the sides.
Yeah. I knew it. Okay.
Sides of not olive oil, with vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil.
So this sticks quite easily, but what you want to do, can you see I've created a little bit of a fold there? Can you see a little fold? So the fold is a starting point. So when you dip it into your cake tin, like so.
Goes to the edges.
Yeah, it goes to the edges, but you've got to do the same thing for the other side. Yeah, so you're just basically moulding it around your tin like so. So if you want to chuck it to him so you can see.
A little bit.
No. Can you see, guys? So you've got basically an overlap sunk into the middle, it's going over the side. So these little flaps here on the side, can you see these little flaps? These little wings ready to fly away. What they do is enable you to pull out your cake, and it's easier rather than having to dive around the side and be able to cut. Yeah, it doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick.
Okay, we don't need to worry about the ends, all right? Now, if you've got a fan-assisted oven, this is where it becomes a massive issue. So fan-assisted oven, it's got loads of air inside it, so it's blowing all over the place. What can happen is this can go way on top of your cake, and then it sticks to the top of your cake. So what I'm going to do is you want to create little creases underneath like that, so it doesn't have any chance of flying in the cake tin. I'm going to show you this when I lift it up. Can you see here, look? So I'm just basically making it so it doesn't sink in. You can use things like pegs or something like that to weigh it down so it doesn't fly around. Anything in there is absolutely fine. Yeah, just be able to, just so you can sink it into the corners. So I'm going to show you guys here. So you've got tin, little flaps, but I folded, made some little fold ridges over the sides so they don't fly around in the oven, yeah? All good. So that is all prepped and ready, and it's one of those things to make sure that you do at the start, because you don't want to be thinking to yourself, oh, I've lined that cake tin, wish I'd done that. Wish I'd done it.
Yeah, too
Wouldn't
late.
you think that?
Too late.
I mean, I would think that. So wish I'd done that.
From
and
my
also,
experience.
I'm
I'm too late, and then I've ruined it, and then I'm like,
preheat the oven.
Should
Do you
have done
preheat
that.
the oven?
yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
How long would you reckon you've got to preheat the oven for?
15 minutes?
Yeah, 8. Spot on. Spot on.
Smash that.
15 minutes at least, preheat the oven,
Yeah.
so you know it's at optimum temperature. You can get yourself an in-oven thermometer, whack it in there, it tells you exactly what it says in the oven. Did you know that?
He's got time to get Okay.
It costs like £3.
Oh.
So anyway, £3.
Yeah.
Stick it in the
Get
oven.
one of those.
Yeah, get one of those.
Really important.
Yeah.
Life goals. Life goals. Get one of those.
Get one of them. Anyway, wine.
Next.
Get an in-oven thermometer so it tells you exactly.
What's next?
Next.
What
All
do
right,
we-
right.
banana bread.
So what we're going to do is, I've looked at loads of banana bread recipes. I know it's boring and it's the most Googled recipe out of them all, but we're doing it. And I've tested loads. Do you want stodge? Do you want it light and fluffy? Or do you just want a normal loaf? I mean, Rach tried
wants
out
to
a
eat
recipe.
it.
You want stodge. She wants
Yeah,
proper
I like
stodge.
stodge. I like
However,
stodge.
a traditional banana loaf isn't stodge. It's actually more of like a bread.
Yeah.
Cakey type vibe, so it's not as stodgy. We need some aeration in it, but I still want some moisture, so we're going to get moisture from the bananas, but we're also going to get it from the butter. Now, instead of creaming butter, which we would do, so if I creamed butter, as in put, you know, have you seen that from mum, like put butter in there,
yeah.
put sugar in there, whip it up, you're creaming it. It's called the creaming method, which is butter and sugar. What we're going to do is, instead of butter and sugar, is we're going to use melted butter. So by melting the butter, we're already starting ourselves off with this lovely, luxurious, dense sponge. But all our raising agents is going to give us some lift. Lift. This is what lift is. Lift. Ta-da. Right? So we need lift. So melt your butter. You've got 115 grams of butter. Melt it, but make sure it's cool. Right? 115 grams of butter.
115.
Right? Make sure it's melted, make sure it's cooled as well. You don't want piping hot butter or it's going to melt the sugar when it goes in. Now, I've got a mixer here. This is a Kenwood, is it Kenwood?
I think so.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, it is a Kenwood, isn't it? Kenwood Major.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Kenwood.
matter if you've not got a mixer. Don't worry. Don't go out and spend loads of money on it. Make sure you just got something that mixes it. A hand and a spoon and a bowl. Yeah, it's all
Does the
right.
job.
No, it doesn't do the job.
Oh.
That's the So what it does is you have to do loads of
mixer.
effort to be able to cream up the butter and sugar if you're going to do it that process. But what we need is something to do it for us. So if you've got a little hand one, like with little whisks at the end of it, that works just as well. And you can get it from like a £5 from the supermarket. So don't spend £400 or £500 on a mixer if you don't need to. So first thing we've got, guys, not to bore you anymore, we've got... Just don't pour it all over yourselves. Anyway, that was not planned. Butter, melted butter, right? It's gonna go.
Your apron?
I trained you in this.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
open up your mixer. So open up your mixer. What are you doing? Or just a bowl, ceramic bowl, right? So 115 grams of melted butter that you see here, guys. Dun, dun, dun.
It was 100.
It was. Now it's 100.
110.
It's going to go in to your mixer and make sure every little bit of it is in. All right,
It's
and
in.
all this stuff in, right? All this stuff in. Okay, I didn't bring a tea cloth out. Anyway, into there is going to go our friend light brown sugar. Now we're not using caster sugar. We want, basically what happens is this is an acid. Sugar is an acid, right? Brown sugar especially. So when we put anything like raising agents in there, like bicarb or baking powder, it reacts with the acid in the brown sugar. It does it with cocoa powder, a lot of other things as well. So brown sugar full of molasses is really treacly. Whack that in.
Yes.
So we've got 150 grams of brown sugar in there. Now we're going to mix it 150 until it's completely combined. All right, guys? So if you want to drop the mixer down.
Look.
That's it. And then turn him on, like medium speed we're talking. It's going to get quite noisy up in here. Medium speed.
1 or 2?
Like 3 maybe. Now this is quite fast, so if you have got a mixer at home, do a little dance! Make a little laugh! Get dancing out! Dancing out for a good minute, mate. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Have to hold
Right?
it. Oh. Do I not? Don't hold it.
No.
There you go.
Give it a good hit down. Don't leave. 1 minute, mix it on medium speed until everything's combined. So we're going to leave you with that thought.
For 1 minute.
For 1 minute. Calm it down.
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence. We did have Beyonce playing, but she just disappeared. She's gone.
She's even left.
She's just left the
Like,
building.
I'm done.
So you have to drink wine this time?
Oh yeah. What's next? Stop. Stop. Okay.
Okay, so once your butter and your sugar has been mixed in thoroughly, all you now want to do is add your eggs. Now we've got 2 large eggs going into this. So when you do pick eggs out from a supermarket, or whether you go for a farm or wherever you're going to go to next, what you want to ensure is that they are large eggs. They're not a mixed box. A mixed box to a cake designer is completely scary. All right, so when you do use eggs, make sure you've got 2 large eggs and they need to be room temperature. Now if I put in something that's cold, it's going to shock it and it doesn't create what we call an emulsion. An emulsion is where everything is all the same temperature and it all blends. This is what blending is. Blending. Yeah? Blending. So it all blends, combines, it's happy, all right? So 2 large eggs, we're going to add them little by little or 1 by 1 as we go in. Because we've got liquid fat, we don't have to worry about things like, have you heard of curdling?
Yes.
What's curdling?
It's when it all like joins together.
No.
Oh.
Curdling is like if I stuck loads of eggs in there right now and I didn't do it little by little, it breaks away from all the fat and it goes, nah, mate. Not interested.
No.
And it breaks away and then it like basically looks like in a weird, horrible way
It was
sick.
like when it's all like clumpy.
Yeah, it goes clumpy and horrible.
Yeah,
That's
like
it, it's a
a horrible
horrible thing. It's
texture.
not a good thing.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to add our eggs 1 by 1 on medium speed. Now I've got guard on here, which means I can add my eggs that is splatting all over the place. So what we're going to do is on medium speed, if you can just drop your mix down, Rach. So I've got 2 cracked room temperature eggs here. All right, so knock them right down. And you see that little pouch inside? You can drop an egg in there whenever you want. All right, so if you want to put it on medium speed,
What? To begin
medium,
with.
like 2 or 3. So by putting on 2 or 3 speed, we're enable that mixture to be quite fast. Now if it's
Yeah.
really slow, yeah, that's it, whack it in,
What?
whack the whole thing.
Straight in.
That's it. By being on,
Makes me nervous.
By being on
it on
medium
2.
speed, it enables it to mix it quite quickly. If you've got it on slow speed and you add your eggs really slow, guess what's going to happen? The horrible word.
Curdle!
Curdle! We don't want curdling to happen. Basically, it stops everything from binding together. So when one egg's in, guess what we're doing? Next egg. So next large egg is going in
I feel like
to
I
our
work in a
mixture.
factory.
No, you don't. So
No,
next egg
no.
is
Okay.
beautiful.
Et voila!
Et voila!
Et voila!
Okay, so let me move this out of the way. While that's on the go, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about butter. So butter, I use this stuff here. President butter. Okay, so President butter, I know it's French, I'm really sorry, it's not an English butter, but it's really creamy. It's got a really high percentage of fat in there and less water, so it's going to give us lovely, rich flavour. Yeah?
Lovely.
Now, Mum used to use
butter.
Flora.
Oh no.
Flora margarine, right?
It's not the same.
It's Flora
Like
margarine
pure butter.
has the same
Pure.
amount of fat content as margarine, but no flavour. There is no intense flavour.
Yeah.
So if you do decide that you want something a bit more fluffier, then all you need to do is opt for half butter, half margarine. So you've got
Okay.
that lovely airiness of margarine.
On it.
So there was 75 grams of chocolate, now there's 70. Alright? So
I can't stop eating.
mix it in until it's combined. That is looking good. Stop it. Stop your mixer down. Spatula. Now, these are my dad's spatulas and I absolutely love them. Guess what? They don't come off in two. They don't break away, which
One.
creates bacteria. They are in one. They're like a jumpsuit.
Oh, we love a
Spatula.
jumpsuit.
We love a jumpsuit. Jumpsuit
All in
spatula.
one. You've got to
Yeah?
think about
All in
two
one.
things.
They got to think about the top. They got to think
No.
about the bottoms.
Just one. Whack it on.
All
Done.
in one.
Yeah.
No bacteria as well.
Dream.
And they bend. Look at this. Oh, flexing.
It's like doing yoga.
Look at that. This is like Rachel doing a tree pose. Ready? This is tree pose.
It's not tree pose.
What's that pose? What's that pose?
Which one?
What's that?
We're just like a back bend. Nice little back
Anyway.
bend.
We're going to stop it. Scrape
Okay.
round your bowl so you can do that.
Right, so we'll lift it up.
Yeah, lift him up. I'm just going to scrape round. You want to make sure that everything is mixed in. All right? So
I
you
feel
scrape
like they need
everything
to
off
see it
it.
because it looks really good.
All right, well, show 'em.
Oh, it's all going on my. It's all going everywhere. Okay, so round the edges, yeah?
Yeah, so scrape round the bowl, make sure there's nothing basically stored at the bottom of your bowl. Now I'm gonna show you this attachment. If I take this attachment out, Rach,
It's gone everywhere. Normal.
can you see this attachment, guys? I know it's got cake mix on it, but it's got flaps around the side of it, which means it scrapes around the side of your bowl. So everything is included, it's all mixed in. If you don't have those flaps on the side, you've got something what we call a K-beater, which you get as part of a KitchenAid or anything like that. You have to make sure you keep going in with this spatula. All right, guys, so we're going to stick him back in again. And all you do is lock him back in.
Should I take this out?
No, mate, it's all good. It's all good. So that's happy. We've got butter, melted butter. We've got light brown sugar. And then we've got 2 eggs. Don't you dare lick it.
So close. This is so difficult. Why
So,
can't I eat anything?
We're halfway through pretty much.
Okay,
Sorry guys, we're dragging.
sorry.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, we
we're
talk
faffing.
too
We
much.
talk too
We're sisters,
much.
we're known for talking a
So
lot.
sorry guys.
Okay, next step. Let's go.
In the
let's
next
go.
step is that we want to prep the flour. So we've got liquid ingredients in there. So we've got fat, we've got melted fat, we've got sugar, we've got eggs. We're happy. Yeah?
Happy eggs.
We're happy eggs. We're happy eggs. In a bowl, separate bowl. You need, so this is plain flour we've got in here. Right? Plain flour. That's going to go
no
into a
plain
bowl.
flour anywhere at the moment. Like
No, there
literally
isn't.
nothing.
No.
What's
you
the
can't-
comment I made the other day as well?
What?
So you now know that I'm a complete beginner. What did I say?
So
about home?
Rach only realised the other day was that
Self-raising
self-raising flour
flour
is
is-
plain flour with baking powder in it already.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I mean,
I
there's
mean,
no
oh
comment.
wait, I actually put that on myself. I humiliated myself.
But she even said it, like, this is no comment. I mean, but then do you know what?
I don't bake, so I have no idea.
People don't know this, and it's not a bad thing. I know it's not a bad thing, I'm sorry. Like, that's putting everyone down in the whole industry anyway. So we've got plain flour in there. You can use self-raising flour. If you use self-raising flour, then you don't need to add the baking powder. It's already got it in there, as Rachel's just confirmed from her knowledge of pancake making.
Yeah. Oh, I love pancakes.
Hang on a minute, why do you self-raising flour for pancakes making?
Oh, I want to make the American fluffy ones.
Oh, the fluffy
The ones that
pancakes,
rise.
So good. So good. So, plain flour. Now, you can sieve your flour, but do you know what? I buy this stuff, which is McDougall's, and guess what? It's pre-sifted.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
I mean, what a dream.
Pre-sifted plain flour.
What else do you need in life?
Which means plain flour, it's got nothing in it. No raising agents at all. It is just flour. Just flour on its
Pure.
own, right? So we've got plain flour in here, guys, right? We need to add to that 1 teaspoon of bicarb of soda. Now, bicarb of soda is the stuff used in toothpaste. It tastes disgusting, but it's the most amazing raisin agent.
Oh,
Yeah?
okay.
It basically oomph. It rises everything. It's
Highlights.
fantastic, right?
Highlights.
And banana, did you know banana is an acid? Right, so banana is an acid
Oh,
product,
okay, yeah, I
right?
knew that.
Bicarb only reacts when you've got acid and moisture. So if I've got a banana sitting in here somewhere and bicarb goes in, it's like, party! It's going down. So in here, I've got 1 teaspoon of bicarb and I've got half a teaspoon of baking powder. The reason I've got baking powder is because I'm using plain flour. I want to give it a bit more oomph. If I'm using self-raising flour, only use 1 teaspoon of bicarb. You don't use the baking powder. Remember, it's got it in it already. Ready? So that's going in to your flour.
Gosh.
All in.
Should I move that way a little bit?
In there, I want to add a bit of spice to it. So,
Spice.
Spice. We've got 1 teaspoon. Is it 1 teaspoon? Maybe half. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg here, and 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. Now, if you haven't got mixed spice, just use cinnamon. Doesn't really matter. Something that's really fruity of a spice, just to really enhance everything going in. So that's going into our flour. Okay.
Straight in.
Okay. So, if you don't whisk this, guess what happens? If I don't whisk the bicarb and baking powder and everything together, I just go, way! Here we go, in the mix.
It's
What
all going to be in
happens?
clumps.
Grand. She's
Yeah.
learning. Oh, this is so sweet.
So sweet.
So
basic.
So basic, but so sweet.
Thanks.
Give it a good mix. So this basically, you're making your own self-raising flour. Yeah? So I'm adding my bicarb made baking powder. I'm making my own self-raising flour. And I've got some spices in there. Brilliant. Now I have put in the recipe an option for a pinch of salt if you want to rage. For a pinch of salt, salt enhances raising agents. So if I put baking powder in there, baking soda, you're not listening.
I am listening.
Baking powder and baking soda, right, goes in there. If I put salt in there, it goes game on. Beyonce is there. She's there.
Is she though?
Who else can we say?
Not Beyonce.
I'd say Emily Sanders, but she's not. I mean, she's great, but who else?
Yeah.
Anyway, mix it together with a whisk. This you mix it together, right? So I've got all my flour. I've got my flour, bicarb, baking powder, spices. Yeah? Put it to the side. Don't eat it for now.
This is the one I made earlier.
This is the one that Blue Peter Star made earlier.
I made this earlier.
Okay, next bowl. Separate
Bowl
bowl.
number 2.
Right. 4 bananas. So I mentioned to you about
Chocolate
450
here.
grams. Yeah, approximately 450 grams. Now, these don't look dead to you, but guess what I've done to be able to help them to be dead inside? I put them in the oven on 50 degrees to die a little bit and get squashy and squishy inside. Can you feel how squishy it is?
I've not been allowed to have any bananas with cereal, porridge.
No,
for
we
a
have to
week.
let the bananas
I mean,
die.
I feel sorry for me, guys. Like, this is.
So bananas, make sure they're the deadest you can get, because guess what
Put 'em in
happens to the starch in the bananas when they die and they become more ripe and they go brown? Guess what happens? Guess what the flavour of the bananas happens?
It's all mushy and.
Yeah, they get sweeter. They naturally get sweeter.
Huh.
Yeah. So 4 bananas.
What? Not the end bits. Really?
All in.
Not
4
yet.
bananas. Yeah. 4 bananas.
A quarter.
4 banano.
Now let's mush it.
Right. Now you want to mush it. Now if you find it hard to mush,
Shall I mush?
I'm going to tell you a trick.
Oh.
If you find it really hard to mush up, guys, what you want to do is, if they're a little bit solid, some of them, still keep some lumps in there, because those lumps Oh, guess what?
So it makes it all stodgy.
Little tiny stodgy passion balls that we love. We love those, don't we? We love those little stodgy
I
gooey
love
bits.
bananas. I feel like they're a little bit underrated.
They are. Are they underrated?
Yeah.
Are
I love
bananas underrated?
They're
I
just
don't know.
so good.
If you want to have an easy way of breaking down bananas, one option is salt. Salt breaks down garlic and things like that. So if I want to try and smash down garlic in a recipe, use a bit of salt. Now flake salt I love, so I'm going to use this.
Ooh,
Maldon,
yeah.
love a bit of Maldon. And I'm going to use a pinch, but when you use a pinch, after this.
For absolutely no reason at all, just have to do it.
Use that. And now I'm using paste. Has anyone heard of vanilla paste? Vanilla bean paste. Have you heard of vanilla bean paste?
Yes.
So what is the difference between vanilla extract and vanilla paste?
It's pure from the bean that you scrape.
That's it.
Yeah?
Yeah, and guess what? If I used 1 teaspoon of extract that you get from the supermarkets, you get vanilla bean extract, which is like a liquid. It's got no little black, none of these little black pods in there.
Pure liquid.
It's pure liquid. It's got